John, let's go to the tail of the tape for the World Grand Prix final and the Bellator MMA Featherweight Championship match.
Take a look at that reach, Morrow. 65.5 for Pitbull, 73.5 for AJB. That's 8 inches. That is huge. But I will say that Patricio has been in this position in almost every one of his fights where he has less reach. But AJ McKee is special, and he's got speed. We'll see if this reach makes a difference.
Hollywood couldn't script this main event any better. Let's go to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime from the Forum. The time has come for the conclusion of the $1 million Featherweight World Grand Prix. Tonight's main event will be 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Featherweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Carvelli, Chair, Executive Officer at K-Side, Andy Foster. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 145 pounds even, with 3 electrifying finishes en route to tonight's final. The young phenom enters undefeated with 17 professional victories, no losses. Ladies and gentlemen, the #1 ranked contender hailing from Long Beach, California, presenting the challenger, the mercenary, AJ McKee. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the red corner at 5'6", weighing in 144.5 pounds as a reigning 2-weight class world champion. The Bellator GOAT tonight stands with an impressive 32 professional victories along with 4 defeats. From Natal, Rio Grande do Norte, Brazil, the defending Bellator Featherweight World Champion, Patricio. The referee in charge, Mike Beltran.
All right, gentlemen, been over the rules already. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Just goes down if you want. At the sound of the bell, come on out, handle your business.
Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. The World Grand Prix final, $1 million bonus check. And the Bellator Featherweight Championship, the Grand Prix title, all on the line. The #1 contender against the champion.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
The bell in round 1. Patricio Pitbull in the red gloves, AJ McKee in the blue, and McKee immediately attacking the lead leg of the champion with an oblique kick. Music to the ears of all of us, John. After a year of being in the fight sphere, Mohegan Sun, a raucous crowd on hand, and most of them are here to cheer on AJ McKee.
Right here, take a look at what's happening here. AJ taking the center of the cage, which is normally where Patricio likes to be. He's taking the center of the cage and saying, I'm going to stand here, go ahead and try to come towards me, and I'm just going to start to pick at you. We'll see how Patricio starts to open up. This is going to take a while for these guys to feel each other out. This is not going to end real fast, in my opinion. Well, it's going to be that they both are careful in the beginning.
Well, McKee said that's not going to be the case. He says he's going to finish him in the first round with a body kick. But you're right, John, it would behoove McKee to be patient and utilize his advantages with the height and the reach.
Absolutely, there's no doubt he has an advantage when it comes to physical size. Strength, Patricio is a bull.
Yes.
But to be that bull, you got to come into the matador.
And of course, Pitbull known for his crisp counterattacks, but who is going to lead this dance?
Notice who is moving who back. Now he's seriously hurt.
McKee!
He should not stop. He made a mistake there.
Patricio Pitbull! He said he'd do it with a kick, and McKee looking to finish the champion in round 1.
Made a mistake in not going after him. He's out. He's out.
Mamma mia! AJ McKee! becomes the new Bellator MMA featherweight champion. Wins the featherweight World Grand Prix title and, like you said, John, gets to take home $1 million bonus. And from, you know what? He's now 18-0, longest win streak in Bellator, and in many ways, this is just the beginning, John.
It is just the beginning. I told you that he is special. He is so good at being a fighter.
Meanwhile, the former champion Patricio Pitbull's corner, wondering what happened.
There's not a whole lot to wonder about. Let's take a look at the replay if we can. Take a look at this. AJ sets him up, gets him going backwards. Watch the kick come up. Watch the right hand. Comes out, that kick comes up, hits him square across the jaw. That stuns him. You can see he's after him. Then he actually puts him down with shots, but he made the mistake of stopping, putting his hands up. Goes after him with the guillotine choke. It is tight. Watch again, the head kick come up. Look at the trauma of that head kick. Patricio's able to withstand that, but then it's the shots coming after. That uppercut with the left hand puts him on his butt. Again, right there's the mistake that you cannot make. If you're AJ McKee, you got to continue on until that referee stops you. He then grabs the neck and he goes after what Patricio normally gets his guys with. There he goes, right to the point of unconscious. You can see how he doesn't know where he's at. And they stop the fight.
And Father Antonio celebrating the huge victory by his son, AJ McKee. And yeah, you talk about poetry there, my friend, as AJ McKee and does it with Pitbull's guillotine choke. And so adding insult to injury by doing it in that fashion.
Oh, there's no insult at all. It is part of MMA. He went after what was available. His neck was available because he was a hurt fighter, and that is what ended the fight.
Well, we'll add the insult to injury to the now former champion, Patricio Pitbull. And Pitbull still can't believe what has just transpired here in the LA Forum. The now former two-time featherweight champion still holds the 155-pound gold. But Patricio Pitbull submitted for the first time in his illustrious career. The night belongs to the mercenary AJ McKee. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the guillotine in tight, it comes to an end officially 1 minute 57 seconds into round number 1 by technical submission. He is now the $1 million featherweight World Grand Prix champion and the new Bellator featherweight world champion, the mercenary AJ McKee.
Tremendous show of respect by both Patricio Pitbull and AJ McKee. McKee is a prophet. He predicted a first-round finish, and he delivered. Let's go to Big John McCarthy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the new featherweight champion and the featherweight Grand Prix winner, Mr. AJ McKee. AJ, you just stopped a guy that has been the champion since you have been fighting in this cage. What does it feel like?
Man, all my dreams coming true. It's amazing. We're not done. This is just the beginning, so we're getting started. I'm looking forward to holding this baby for the rest of my life. It ain't going nowhere.
Talk to me about when you were walking out, because the energy in this crowd and the love that they were throwing down on you had to inspire you before you started.
It was surreal, man. Everybody, I appreciate y'all for coming out and supporting from the bottom of my heart. This is for y'all. This is for LA, baby. We bringing championships home. Let's go. Snickers, are y'all not satisfied? What's up? For real.
You don't need Snickers. You wrote yourself a check when you were a young man for $1 million. Well, Bellator just wrote you a check for $1 million that you can now go cash. Talk to me about the entire tournament, what it meant to you and how it was going through this process.
Man, when I first started in the tournament, I wanted like the 3rd pick, 4th pick, just so I could see where the bracket laid out. But God put something in my heart. He reminded me, he said, you are #1. So when I drew that #1, it showed me, it said, let them see who wants to fight you. And none of them wanted to step up.
You came into Bellator super hot, had some fights, but there was a fight that changed you. It was that fight in Ireland when all of a sudden you were tested and you came back a different fighter. What was it that changed you?
I'd say mentality, man. Mentality is key. You know, you got to put in the work. And my dad always tell me hard work beats talent. So if you got all the skill set in the world and you don't work hard, it's meaningless.
Well, let's talk about the skill set because it was the head kick that started everything. You hit him to the head and then you hit him with a beautiful left uppercut to put him on the deck. But then you started to celebrate.
Yeah, because I thought he was done, you know. I looked at him, and then I was just like, man, well, let's get on him again, you know. So, like they say, protect yourself at all times, and you got to stay on him until the ref stops it. So, I had to get back on him like white on rice.
When you grabbed that neck and you felt it, did you know that he was going out?
Yeah, I felt him go limp a little bit, so that's what kind of gave me it, you know what I mean? I knew he was already rocked, so when I felt him buckle a little bit, I was like, all right, that's it.
I want to tell you that was a fantastic performance against an unbelievable champion. Congratulations on being the new featherweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bellator featherweight champion, AJ the Mercenary McKee.
No place that AJ McKee would rather become a world champion than this venue, the Forum in his backyard, and he said especially after he and his dad fought here together at Bellator 228, he says a lot of greatness has taken place within these red walls. It just gives him that much more motivation to go down as a legend and get his name up on those walls someday, and I have a feeling that may also come to fruition. Mercenary AJ McKee is money, and he will indeed cash that $1 million bonus check and has all of the gold. What a performance by AJ McKee, and for Patricio Pitbull, his record title reign comes to an end, but he has all of the support in the world from his family. He remains the lightweight champion, and he remains a Bellator MMA icon, but AJ McKee celebrating with family. AJ McKee said that he's got the MMA game on lock, and he just locked up the biggest win of his career. And as we mentioned, and he reiterated that this is just the beginning. Let's go back to the fight desk and Jen Bradley.
Well, thanks, Mario. You know, AJ McKee told us this week that what drives him is to continue his father's legacy. He talked about this picture that he has on his wall in his house of his father with his belt, and now tonight he can put his picture with him. Spectacular.
Sports can be cruel sometimes. For one man to live his dream, another man's dream must die, and that's what happened tonight. And I feel bad for Patricio because he's been the king so long in Bellator. But sometimes the new king needs to step in, and he did that tonight with AJ McKee. Great performance. Little pre-celebration though almost cost him, but he jumped on the neck right away, stayed composed, attacked the submission, didn't rush stuff. Great job by a young man.
What a night for AJ. He looked amazing, and then to be able to celebrate like that in your hometown, friends and family, there's no better feeling than that right there.
So what's next for AJ? He's now the champ. I know he hinted a little bit at wanting to go after the champ status that you started there, Mr. Bader. So what is next? What do you think we're going to see from him coming up?
I mean, he has talked a lot about going to lightweight, which he should. He's a very big featherweight. And so if he does decide to go there, but I would like to see him defend his title one time, at least in the featherweight division. You got guys like Adam Boric, who are just as big as him. Tall, long, lengthy, great kickboxing, good submissions. I'd like to see that fight potentially come to fruition. And I would also, even though I'd like to see them fight again, Patricio and him at featherweight, I think someone who's been a champion that long, like you said, when he started in Bellator, Patricio was the champion.